everybody, to WRMN 1410. You're listening to Out to Lunch right here at WRMN. Don't forget, you can always take WRMN out to lunch with you in your pocket on the smartphones. We've got an app. We are on the TuneIn. Don't forget, you can always talk to your smart speakers as well. Just say, hey, smart speaker, play WRMN, and it will. I'll tell you, I promise. It'll be there. My name is Dennis Green. I will be your host for both hours today. Usually I take just the 1 to 2, but Mark is back from vacation. You gotta ease him back in. You can't just throw him back into the fire. But today I was able to rope in our friends from the City of Aurora. And if you didn't know, this is Financial Wellness Month here in the world of April. And we've got Tasha Moss, and we've got, of course, Johnny Zags. How are you, buddy? Thanks for being over here. And thank you very much for bringing a friend, Tasha. We really appreciate you being here, too.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Wonderful. So, did they pick this month because of taxes? Is that really what it is?
That's an interesting thought, Dennis. I never thought about it that way, but let's provide some literacy during tax season. Yes.
Absolutely, because this is the time that we all go, oh, I made that much and I got to pay this much? Oh, my goodness.
I like that alignment.
I don't think I actually made that much. Now, if you say I did, boss, then I guess I did. If my W-2s say I did, then I guess I did. Because that's it. This is where we all get to turn around and say, where did that dollar go? Yes. And if you don't know where the dollar went, then there you go. You're just looking out for everything that's there. So how important is to not just look at your finances in this time of taxes and everything else? How important is having a plan for every dollar that goes out?
Having a plan is instrumental, Dennis, and I'm so glad that you started there. The plan helps you guide your decisions. Mm-hmm. And also, when you have a plan, you can make better decisions along the way. Like if you need to pivot, and you also need to keep in mind that the plan also is going to go awry. Okay. So the plan is not going to stay solid, but sticking to a plan and having a plan and sharing the plan with other family members so that it's a shared vision and a shared goal is key to the success of said plan.
There you go. Yeah, and that's kind of the adage too. Is you have a plan, so you know what you're deviating from. Mm-hmm. So you know what you're leaving from. But at least you've got a goal. At least you've got. And is a goal part of the plan? Because a lot of times people make a plan and they're like, okay, I'm going to go to the store, but the goal is like, I got to feed myself. Yes, so I can't just go to the store, just grab everything off the shelf, so you don't go hungry, right? So how important is setting the goal? Do you get a plan first and then the goal, or the goal and then you work to the plan to get there?
I think it works better when you have the goal in mind first. Okay. Because then you can do some reverse engineering and work backwards to what that plan and what those action steps look like. Great. And that's exactly the model that we have at the Aurora Financial Empowerment Center. Mm-hmm. We use those goals set by the client in an individualized way. So they're, like, say they have a goal to purchase a car. That's just like you said, you can't just go in and say, I'm going to have a car today. There's so much, you have to have a credit score, a down payment. You have to take into factor the note and the taxes. And that's what we do. We have you take a holistic approach to the plan that you have in mind. Mm-hmm. How's your credit? What does your down payment look like? How much can you afford for a down payment? So I think when you keep the goal in mind, it makes the action steps a lot easier, and you can bite those off in small increments and make those tiny successes towards the goal that keeps you motivated, keeps you engaged. Okay. And that's exactly what we do at the Financial Empowerment Center with our individualized goals.
And over at the FEC, the Financial Empowerment Center that you're the director of, we thank you for coming in for that. How often does somebody come in with just the goal of, I just need to live? And then that's where you're able to say, well, of course, that's the bottom line, but maybe this goal over here or that goal over here. Do you help us kind of visualize our goals? Because obviously I'm coming in there because I need some sort of help with something. So do you kind of help us imagine where our goals are?
Absolutely. When discussing what your goal looks like and what your vision is for said goal, it's really important that we tie the why to that. because it keeps you engaged. Again, it keeps you motivated and it keeps you tied to the goal. So when you're working towards that, it's more of laying out what this looks like. Is this a short-term goal? Is this a long-term goal? And getting that realistic approach around how long can this take?
Okay.
And what else do I need to learn something? Do I need some assistance? So just being able to identify where the challenges may be, identifying some roadblocks. And we have an excellent set of partners and resources that we use, that if you have a banking situation where you're not totally leveraging your bank account, maybe you're accessing some fees for overdrafts, and maybe that bank is not the best one for you, we'll help you identify what bank and what products can be aligned with your needs.
That's wonderful. And John, you are the communications manager of the City of Aurora, and how important is your job in this month of getting the awareness out that there is a financial empowerment center?
I couldn't agree more. I think it's super important, and it's something that we're working on. We've been working on this months in advance, me and Tasha, very closely since I kind of assumed this position. And even before that, last year specifically, we did a good job at updating their website, getting more resources on there. That way people find it easier to access stuff like that.
That's right, Tasha. You have your own website. That's right. It's City of Aurora, FEC.org.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's a great spot to find everything you need to know on there. You could book appointments on there with the counselors. You could look at the free workshops that are offered. You can look at testimonials and stories from successful clients, and you can look at the total numbers that the FEC has done. So, hey, how much debt has the FEC helped residents get out of? So we leverage that website very much so. In addition to our social media platforms and the FEC, they run their own social media account. We kind of share things back and forth. But during this month and really all year round, it's important to promote financial literacy. That's one of the big, I'd say, PowerPoints of our mayor. When our mayor came into office, and right at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, that's when the FEC was established. And his goal was to help more Aurora residents get out of debt and then eventually have the ability to be financially well off or economically successful. So you get out of debt, then you could go buy a car. Eventually you could buy a home. And all of a sudden you are leaps and bounds away from where you were before. That's the whole point of this center. So during this month, of course, it's important to highlight it. But as you mentioned, and as we've talked about here, it is a 12-month, all-year-round, 365 process and opportunity where if it's not Financial Literacy Month and you still want to get out of debt, there are opportunities for you to do so. If you're trying to learn about different aspects of finance, maybe tax planning services, or maybe how to buy a home, a path to home ownership, there are free workshops now offered every month in English and Spanish to allow residents and even area people, not just specifically Aurora residents, who could come on in, get some resources, and get some help. So it's super important to communicate it now, but it's an all-year-round thing, and there's been a huge amount of success, in my opinion, in terms of the center's ability to connect with residents.
That's amazing. And this is definitely something that people need, is that literacy aspect of it. Imagine going through life and not being just literate in general. It makes it really hard, because now, by all means, I can recognize shapes or do whatever, but being able to actually recognize what something means is a whole different side of it. We're speaking with the City of Aurora right now. Tasha Moss is the program director of the FEC. You can find information at cityofauroraFEC.org. We're also talking with Johnny Zags here, the communications manager of the City of Aurora. And what's the website for the City of Aurora?
Yeah, that website is www.aurora-il.org. Yes.
That is great. You got to remember that dash in there. Don't forget it.
Don't forget the dash. You might be missing out. But very easy to find.
Now, Tasha, you had told me that this is your first financial literacy month. Where did you come from before you started over at the FEC?
Well, I've been at the City of Aurora for over 10 years. I've served in various capacities. I was the assistant to Mayor Wisner 4 or 5 years. And most recently, I was the recruitment and retention coordinator in the human resources department.
Wow, so you know everybody on the team then.
Yes.
So did you get to go out and hand pick the FEC team members and then go, okay, well I'm going to build everybody who I work with.
Well, actually, we're really lucky. We have a great team established already. When I got there, they received me with welcoming arms, and we've hit the ground running since I've gotten there in July. We have awesome partners in the Neighbor Project who provides our counseling services. They're our nonprofit provider. So yes, we hit the ground running, and we have been planning and drawing attention to our workshops and highlighting financial literacy and the importance of financial stability in our community since 2020. So really excited to continue to carry that torch.
That's amazing. And when I come and see you, what am I supposed to bring? Just myself and my ideas? Should I bring maybe a financial statement? Should I bring my mortgage?
You should bring your driver's license. Our clients have to be at least 18 years of age or older. And a commitment to working on their goals.
That's amazing.
So I need a commitment. I need your goals and your ideas. And I also need you to come back for several appointments so that we can check in. We have quantifiable and identifiable outcomes. And that allows us to address poverty strategies in a data management driven way. So we're very aggressive with that. Our population has a low to moderate income. We have a significant portion of our population that's low to moderate income. So addressing that in a proactive way is totally what we're aiming to do.
And because you're part of the city, if somebody is in financial hardship, you've already got the whole list of all of the different city programs. So this isn't just somebody walking in your door and you go, well, look, buddy, you need help. Like, I wish this is what we do here. We only go here. We only do this. But if anybody goes outside of your realm, you've got other people that you can send anybody out to.
And that is exactly another part of the core model of the Financial Empowerment Center is integration. We integrate with other social services, and we integrate with community partners, and we integrate through most recently through educational institutions. So that diversity in our integration makes sure we address and we target and we're intentional about the population so that we are making an impact, so that we do have financial literacy and we do get the outcome of the financial stability that Mayor is intending for our community.
Yeah, and you said it earlier, it's quantifiable. Otherwise, what's a plan, right? If I turn around and say, well, you know what, my plan is to retire with Beanie Babies. I still need to know how many Beanie Babies I need to have to retire. So it's back to that same kind of thing. If that was my goal, my financial goal is the, as I call it, the Antiques Roadshow retirement. I'll make sure that I have, you know what, if I collect enough junk, eventually something's got to be worth something, right? No, it's you got to have that plan of this is the time frame. And at that time frame, these are the numbers that we want to hit. So as the communications manager, you guys have a lot of those numbers too. How many numbers are you guys looking to grow or be a part of with this program?
Yeah, 100%. And I think the main thing, and I know I sent you the press release ahead of time, and everybody, you could find it online too, because we put it out on the City of Aurora Facebook page. We have three main numbers that Tasha and I had discussed. Total savings, so how much have residents been able to save over time? How many people have we served? And then also the total amount of debt that's been reduced. And as of today, it's literally right on the cusp of $3 million.
Wow.
That's $3 million of Aurorans who had debt. It's gone. Now it's gone. There is no more debt in their lives, or it's been slashed in a certain percentage. Now we talk about quantifiable. That's quantifiable.
Yes.
That is an immense impact on our community. And I think it's just so forward thinking, and it's so different because other communities aren't doing this. I think they should, because let's step back for a minute, right? We talk about just people living at home, people having their home lives, going to work, coming home, family life, all those things. All of that is affected by your finances. If you're in a significant amount of debt, you're going to feel that pressure. You're going to be behind on your bills. You're going to have issues maybe with housing or with paying off certain bills. So being able to get out of debt, being able to get residents out of nearly $3 million in debt, Well, now let's look at the positive side of that. How many people's lives have changed now? How many people are not worried about their bills, being behind on bills, maybe losing their home because they're so behind? So it's really a life empowerment initiative. It's not just finance, because the finance part of it feeds into every other aspect of these people's lives. So when they come in, everything has changed as they go through the program, complete what they're supposed to do, and then live by what they committed to.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's really great. Go ahead, Tasha.
And I was going to piggyback on what John was saying. That's the generational wealth. We change the way that families have conversations around finances and also give them the ability to address short-term goals with long-term education. And it also changes the trajectory, of their family.
Yeah.
Because, like you said before, Dennis, not everyone had the benefit of knowing. They taught us how to add, they taught us how to, take care of other life skills. But financial literacy has been something that's been, unique to your family or your experience. So being able to provide that where we all have equal opportunity to progress together is extremely valuable to our community.
And it's a very personal thing. Finances are very personal thing. That's why they call it personal financial management. It's there. It's not like John's financial management. I'm not sitting here going, okay, John, well, what do I got? But if you do run a business and things like that, you're a bit more open. But as far as the culture of a family's finances, it's usually one person who handles it, and then a second person that kind of knows what they do, and then nobody else. There's not a lot of, hey, by the way, I did really well this year, or you know what, I'm kind of struggling. Because I think a lot of it is embarrassment. When we don't know something, because let's take it back to just being illiterate in general, just not being able to read. That's incredibly embarrassing because we all assume everybody can read. So we all assume that nobody's struggling with their finances because nobody talks about it. So when I struggle with my finances and go, oh my gosh, I must be the stupidest person in the world. I hope I go talk to somebody and get some help. But what if they call me stupid? What if I go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, dummy, stop eating all those cheeseburgers? But that's the help that somebody needs. Yes. And sometimes you do need that person to turn around and say, hey, not only are you unhealthy because of the cheeseburgers, your finances aren't healthy either because of the cheeseburgers. Exactly. Slow down a little bit. Now, how much do you try to play into, or I guess more easily put, is ease somebody into a financial change? Because a lot of times it's really hard to just, because when you change your finances, you change your lifestyle. Right. And if you change your lifestyle, your finances change. So we're talking about the timetables that you talked about earlier. What is a typical timetable of somebody who just wants to get back in the positive and start working on a better credit score?
That's a great question, and it actually depends. It depends on what their goal is and what their time frame is in achieving said goal. So how we would ease them into it is to first identify where they're at and where they want to be. Okay. And once we identify that gap between where they're trying to go, we can set a realistic timeline for them. And it's also up to them. How aggressive do you want to be in attacking this goal? Sometimes you need to take bite-sized pieces off because you are changing from eating cheeseburgers to going and making that cheeseburger at home. That's true. That's true. And that's an adjustment period. And I speak from personal experience with that, just because
Do you like cheeseburgers too?
I love hamburgers, Dennis. Hamburgers and coffee. Cheeseburger minus the cheese.
There you go.
But I'm spending that money in areas that could otherwise be used better. And financial literacy is an ongoing thing. And it's something that you have to, it's a mindset change that's going to go hand in hand with a lifestyle change. And the quicker that our clients can grasp that, or some people are just there, hey, I just want to save up for this car, and after that, I got the rest of this. I just need this one short-term goal, and that's okay too. So we're there for both approaches.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But it's also driven, it's driven by the client, and it's individualized. And another way we define our goals is also for our integrations as well as our clients. So on the client side, our counselors are trained. So when they're trained, we set goals for them as well. And their training allows them to be able to move people from where they are to where they want to be, and they are able to set those outcomes. So if a person increases their credit score by more than 20 points, that's an outcome that our counselors can count as a success. If they've saved more than $200 over a month or eliminated the debt to a certain degree, we count those as successes for our counselors. So our counselors also have a vested interest in the success of our client, just past wanting the community to win as a whole. They have a direct vested interest. And on the flip side, our integrations, we are able to provide very detailed reports on how the impact is being made, what strides we were able to communicate to achieve with the client, and also if they're a referral partner or a coordinated case management partner, we can share those reports with them, and we can have a coordinated approach to helping the client that's receiving their social services as well as the financial empowerment. So it's a very targeted and intentional way that we try to strengthen the fabric of our community.
That's amazing. And it all starts with information. It starts with where you're at. It starts with just that knowledge. And Ms. Moss will help you figure that out, and her team will help you there. The Financial Empowerment Center of the City of Aurora, City of Aurora, FEC.org. Check out the workshops. We've got Tasha and Jon for another segment. We're just going to go to a quick commercial break. Mostly so that I can ask them some personal questions for me, right? So that way I can get some free counseling before we even go. Don't worry, you can get that counseling too. Just go ahead and go to the City of Aurora, FEC.org. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Is it noon already? Take your lunch hour up a notch with Out to Lunch from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on WRMN 1410 a.m. Unwind with the perfect blend of soothing sounds and lighthearted conversations that'll make every bite taste better. Whether you're in office or out on the town, let us serve up the best in radio company. Stream on the go with our app on Google and Apple. Because lunchtime is your time. Out to Lunch every day from 12 to 2 on WRMN 1410 a.m., the talk of the town.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus is intent in their commitment to open doors and support those who strive for excellence. Too many people have been made to feel that higher education isn't a place for them, that it is someone else's dream. But Columbia College of Missouri has changed all that. With individualized attention and ongoing support, Columbia College knows a future built by you is a future built for you. Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus, your new starts now. Visit ccis.edu.
Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, 154 Gary Avenue in Bloomingdale is open. Golden Corral's legendary Endless Buffet has a variety of delicious favorites and new menu offerings for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Guests can choose from over 150 items, including grilled-to-order sirloin, pork, seafood, as well as old favorites like fried chicken, meatloaf, and mac and cheese. Golden Corral is the only one for everyone. Visit goldencorral.com.
As the Elgin Police Department continues to participate in the Distracted Driving campaign, they wanted to share some tips from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website regarding safe driving. If you are expecting a text or need to send one, pull over and park your car in a safe location. Once you are safely off the road and parked, it's safe to text. Designate your passenger as your designated texter. Allow them to access your phone to respond to calls or messages. Do not engage in social media scrolling or messaging while driving. Are you struggling not to text and drive? Activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature or put your cell phone in the trunk, the glove box, or the back seat of your vehicle until you arrive at your destination. Remember, the Elgin Police are conducting directed patrols to enforce distracted driving violations. Just drive and stay safe. A message from our friends at the Elgin Police Department and your friends here at WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Welcome back to WRMN 1410. You're listening to Out to Lunch with WRMN. Don't forget that you can take us out to lunch, not just going out to lunch with the website, WRMN1410.com. You can also download the app, the WRMN radio app. If you've got the tune-ins, that's right, we're over there on that one as well. Or thanks for watching. What? We're a radio station. How could I be watching these people? Do you have security cameras in there, Sonar? What's going on here? No, come on, dummy. We got some YouTubes out there. How else do you watch some stuff? But thank you very much for being here with us. And I've got some great guests from the City of Aurora. I've got the program manager of the Financial Empowerment Center, Tasha Moss. We appreciate you there. Of course, I've got my great friend Johnny Zags here, the comms manager, the communications manager of the City of Aurora. You can find more information about Financial Literacy Month and about the FEC at cityofaurorafec.org. So now I want to brag a little bit about your guys' high scores. Now you told me $3 million. Let me put my pinky up. $3 million. That is amazing. And that is what I was talking about on the break, is that's money that went back into the City of Aurora. Now, we all talk about, we've all borrowed money before. Now, unless you're Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey doesn't borrow anything. He just saves.
Spend anything.
Yeah, or spend anything. The guy eats rice and beans every single night and says, you know what, this is what I've got. That's just the way the guy goes. All debt is bad. But you know what? Sometimes we have to have that. You talk about your car. You talk about the other large purchases in your life. Maybe not just a car, maybe just your house. Mm-hmm. Now, I know a lot of us are renting nowadays, but those are still debts that occur. And what ends up happening is you get in this interest cycle where I've already paid off the money that I've borrowed, but now I'm paying off the interest. And it, by all means, look, you let me borrow some money, so let me give you a little bit more back. But a lot of times it's borderline predatory to that point. I mean, we've passed laws in states and federally for the quick cash type of guys and said, no, that's predatory. We can't be doing that. But then you turn around and you look at student debt and say, well, how is that not like to that point? So when you guys helped the citizens of Aurora and the people in the city, what kind of people and where at the spectrum did you help? Was it more of the more affluent people, or was it more, like you were saying, more of the lower income side of it?
It was a range of both, but mostly
Okay.
the low to moderate income. And you make a really good point about the interest and the money that's now able to stay in Aurora. And in the interest of strengthening families' foundations, I feel like we've changed the trajectory of a lot of families' futures.
And you were talking about generational wealth.
Yes, and equip them with some tools and some language to wrap around changing the family's mind around goals. And the community development piece is that when people have better financial literacy and better financial stability, they also become better financial customers, which contribute to the overall ecosystem of our community.
Yeah, you don't get a good credit score by by jumping out of your debts, right? You
Yes.
get a good credit score by, look, let me borrow something and let me be a person in good standing for you.
Yes, and they become, financially stable customers, which directly contributes to the overall economic development of our community. So you're spot on with your assessment that interest that they've now been able to eliminate, and the money that they're now able to reallocate to things they may want or need, or set some new financial goals is all value.
Absolutely, because money is the exchange of goods and services, right? That's what we do here. And if I'm sending the money out to a no-named place that doesn't care if I get it or don't get it, all they're going to do if they don't get my money is just tack on more debt, right? That's all they care about.
Right.
But if I don't pay my landlord then doesn't have their income and they're not able to pay something else. So it is a spiral.
Yes.
So the more that you get more people financially stable, the better like you said, the better the entire ecosystem does, because now if I pay my landlord, I'm paying my credit cards off, I've got a better credit score. I may be able to move up and actually start generating that wealth with an equity of some sort, whether I buy a business or I buy a house or
Now being able to save more money and invest.
Absolutely.
These are all goals that, we want for our family, we want for our children. And John and I are very lucky to work at the City of Aurora, where our mayor, he has the 3 pillars, and it's safety, education, and economic development. And the Financial Empowerment Center falls up under the safety pillar.
Oh, I would have said education too.
Well, education is, but that financial safety is what's important. And it's not only the education, it's the safety. Because what good is the education if you don't do anything with it, or you don't know what to do with it?
There you are.
So that safety piece is very integral to strengthening the foundation and the fabric of our community. And we're also very lucky because we have the mindset developed by, the culture that we have at the city is that we can't progress as a city unless we all have equal opportunity to progress together.
There you are.
And the Financial Empowerment Center is one of the answers to that.
Now, John, progressing as a city, that is such a great goal, because you're not progressing as a block. You're not progressing as an individual person or a business or an organization or anything like that. You march as a city, because I love that word ecosystem, because that's a lot of what a city is you lay down the foundations. You say, even then, we sometimes I like to get a little too political with things, but at the end of the day, a republic is a group of people that all agreed on these laws. Yep. So that's what a city is down the road. And if my neighbor is struggling, it's just like their house is on fire. Yep. The longer that their house burns, the more in danger my house is. So why not get a bunch of buckets or call the financial fire brigade to come in and help you out? So you can always go to the City of Aurora, FEC.org, to look at the workshop times and to also register. They've got a nice QR code down there at the bottom. Let me show the screen real quick for those of you that are watching. And it is the downtown. You're on 712 South River Street in Aurora. But you guys have an open house at that place, April 26th, I believe.
Yes, we do. It's at 8:30 a.m. and we're inviting all of our community partners out, non-for-profit community organizations. We would love to share with you how integrating financial empowerment services into your social services will strengthen the impact of the outcomes of your clients. We want to progress together as a city, and we feel like integrating financial counseling into what you're already doing so well is a win for all.
That's wonderful. And John, what actions are you guys doing with the FEC to help find those partners?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of things. Our biggest push is social media and the press tour, really. Starting with you, we're going to be on a couple of other outlets as well throughout the month. But, having the opportunity to kind of use our social media platforms as a bullhorn for the entire city. I know we talked about it a little bit last time. We're approaching 75,000 followers on Facebook. We certainly have a growing and dedicated Instagram and LinkedIn, a really big LinkedIn following now, in addition to Twitter. So, we're doing our best to push it out on all four of those platforms. We had a specified post that went out right on April 1st to welcome everybody to Financial Literacy Month, big celebration. And in terms of this specific open house and the workshops as well, we do maintain the website. So we rebuilt that website from scratch early last year. And then we added the workshops and all of that into the tabs and into the mix this year. So that website just continues to grow with so much information. It's always updated, so you won't find any old or outdated information. We update it very regularly. And you could always call the FEC as well, and even on the city website, if you go to aurora-al.org and maybe forget about the FEC one, there are still some links and some verbiage on there in terms of what is the FEC. Oh, okay, here, you want to learn more? Go to the FEC website. It's a subsidiary of the city, and we can all work together to figure out how we can help you. But, getting the word out to the public is super important, and I think another thing that's really important with that, too, is that it's English and Spanish as well, especially those workshops. Aurora has such a strong Hispanic Latino population, over 40% of the city. Wow. And I know a lot of Elgin is also Latino and Hispanic. So having the opportunity, and as Tasha kind of talked about, the equitability piece where, hey, if you don't speak English as your first language, that's okay. We have Spanish-speaking counselors available to help you out too. And a lot of the clients have also been Hispanic and Latino who've come in who can't really speak English that well. It's not their first language, so we give them an opportunity to still help them achieve their financial goals, even though there could be a language barrier in the beginning. We have Spanish language counselors available who are right there with them to help them out every step of the way as well. Valeria is super helpful. I love Valeria. She's one of the top counselors over there at the FEC, and she's helped out a lot of people just on her own individually because she does speak Spanish, and she does a really good job at interacting with clients in the area.
That's wonderful, because that's what I really appreciate about what you guys are doing at the City of Aurora. Is it's not just the vehicle, it's not just the message. You guys do a really good job with tailoring the messages so that they're understandable, but you guys have the vehicles to get there. Not only the language vehicles, English and Spanish as well, but you've got multiple different places, the website, the social media. As new information comes up, people are able to stay informed with that side. So Tasha, on that same vein, how often, let me kind of rephrase this, is financial literacy more of a, here are the cornerstones here, and don't worry about whatever the else of the economics is going on. No, these are the cornerstones that you need to worry about. Or do I need to kind of play in a volatile type of ecosystem? Or is it, nope, these are the core principles, stay right here? Or, when this is happening, this is the direction you go. When this is happening, that's the direction you go. Or is it more about just these core principles?
We have the 4 core principles.
Okay.
And when we are addressing financial literacy, we are looking to provide that cornerstone of increasing and improving their credit score,
okay,
lowering or eliminating debt, starting or increasing savings, and establishing and maximizing your bank account.
Okay.
So those are the foundational things that we work on with our clients, and those are the things that we count as successful outcomes as our counselors work with our clients, so that they both have skin in the game, so to speak.
Okay.
So those 4 things are the things that we count and we establish with setting the goals, because those are the foundational things that you can use over and over and over again. And as you get into whichever vein that your goal aligns with, there is a education that you'll receive, terminology, goal setting, and the tiny accomplishments that you set on your individualized plan.
And this isn't just, I go in, I talk to you, you hand me a piece of paper and says, follow these rules and you will be financially literate. It's you guys, you take the time and the days multiple times.
And it's always free. And that's one thing we're extremely proud of.
Wonderful.
Is that one of the core models of the Financial Empowerment Center is that it remains a free public service.
That's great.
So that's the part, and you can come back multiple sessions. There's no income threshold. So we're very proud to provide a program that is able to be taken, that people can take advantage of. With so many predatory lending practices and scams out there, it's nice to be able to turn to the city as a trusted resource to be able to navigate those things. And I'll throw a shameless plug in, is that we're the first and still the only FEC in the state of Illinois.
Wow, that is amazing.
And we've been designated as an expert partner.
Wow.
And so as an expert partner, we're able to mentor new FECs that are coming in and want to do the same thing for their community. So we're extremely proud of our progress, and we're looking really forward to the future.
So you are the model.
We are.
You look. Hey, you want to know how this works? You go to cityofaurorafec.org. Otherwise, you know what? I guess you're gonna have to make your own program.
Yes.
As it goes. How important is the FEC to spread to other cities? So you're obviously your neighbors, just your immediate neighbors in the city itself, they benefit from the ecosystem being healthy, the financial ecosystem. How important is it to actually expand this program to other cities?
Actually, it's extremely important because, as we know, strong neighbors make strong communities make strong states. So with that being said, it is our goal to expand that. And right now we're serving the Aurora area community and the surrounding community because we also can't do this work alone. You know, we would love sponsorships and from financial institutions that we can partner with that would like to further our mission. And when their clients have financial struggles or don't qualify for their products or services, that they do refer them to us, and we do work together in tandem to get that person to where they're financially stable and ready to take advantage of the products and services from our financial institutions.
What does a perfect partner look like?
A perfect partner looks like
with a nice beard. Maybe they're wearing a hat.
The perfect partner looks like having a social service that can benefit from financial literacy. So, for example, if you're affordable housing and you're on rental assistance, that would be a perfect partner to be able to establish and sit down with that client while they're receiving the rental assistance to be able to identify ways that they can reduce their debt, budget better, make some better decisions with money so they don't wind up here again so quickly.
Okay.
So those types of integrations are ideal for us.
Okay, so you're looking at not just organizations, but also the private side of things too.
And on the organization and business side, we would love to work with businesses and companies to help the education of their employees.
There you are, yeah.
So that they can establish good money habits, they can do more with the checks that they receive from the employer, and in turn the employer is again contributing to the community development and the furtherment and investment in their own employees.
That's amazing.
So it's twofold.
So these workshops that you guys have, you have them year round as well. Do I have to register on the website to get in, or can I just say, you know what, that's the time and I'll show up?
Well, we prefer that you register so that we can plan for your coming. They do fill up rather quickly sometimes, so registering in advance is key. You'll also find there's learning outcomes, so you'll come in. As you look at the website, you'll know what you're getting, what you plan to leave the workshop with, and if you're interested in taking those goals further, set an appointment with us right there. We're in the same building right on the first floor. So the workshop is a way for community outreach, marketing, to be able to identify some help within the community for free. If you just need the information, we want to be that trusted resource for you. And at the same time, once you've taken the appetizer, so to speak, which is the workshop, if you want a full meal, which is financial literacy and individual financial counseling, certainly set an appointment with us and we'll get to work on that right away with you.
So you're downtown on South River, River Street, right? Yep, there it is. do you take this show on the road? You were talking about how maybe a partner and say, hey, okay, well, can we talk to your employees? Do you have a program where if I have a conference room that I can essentially usher my employees over and do a one-on-one on that side?
Absolutely. That is one of the 3 ways that we integrate.
Okay.
And we would call that a co-location.
Oh, okay.
So, and it can work both ways. We can have a counselor on site at your establishment at a certain time. If it's a lunch hour and the appointments are set in advance, we know exactly all we need is a quiet room, some Wi-Fi, and some privacy.
Okay.
And we're able to deliver those services. It could be, we can come on a reoccurring basis, or we can have, 2 or 3 days already set aside for a particular organization. So we love to partner in that way, and that's exactly where we're looking forward to expanding in the coming months, is to partner with our businesses and work more closely with organizations.
No, that'll be great. And obviously, Jon, that's part of your communications outreach as well. Are there any other programs other than the FEC side of everything that will do I can't necessarily say house call, maybe a business call?
Yeah, here in Aurora, as we had kind of discussed earlier, our mayor's all about economic development. And when we had kind of talked last time, too, we had mentioned a couple of other nonprofit arms and also organizations affiliated with the city that help out in terms of business development, in terms of businesses, and then in terms of personal finance as well. So Invest Aurora is the nonprofit arm of the city that helps businesses build up and become a business. Really, you walk in with an idea, and it goes from idea all the way to opening the door. Invest Aurora is there every step of the way. They could even help you identify grants. Maybe you're a specific type of business and there's federal money out there or state money out there to help you get your doors open. Well, that's available, and they do a great job at showing you how to apply for those grants, how to identify them, and then also how to identify potential space, potential areas within the city that you could open up a business or open up a location. All of those things fall under Invest Aurora. And then as city-specific departments, the Mayor's Office of Economic Development, they do an outstanding job over there. I'm going to continue to plug them. David Debo, the executive director, and Trevor Dick, the assistant director, and their team, they are phenomenal. We just put out, actually, a huge request for proposals for our Broadway area in downtown, which is Illinois Route 25. There are multiple buildings there that we're looking to redevelop and looking to find some partners to redevelop into restaurant spaces, bistros and cafes, even pharmacies in some cases. So that just got put out, and that was all they're doing as well. So they do a really good job at trying to attract corporate partners or attract businesses to come to Aurora, to come to the downtown area, to come to the far east side, west side, and open up a business. So they work with a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of businesses in terms of what else do I need to do to get ready? Maybe some permitting needs to happen. Maybe they can help them find a space, or they have partners that they work with, the Mayor's Office of Economic Development, private partners, public partners, who try to identify areas in which businesses could open. So it all just goes back to what the mayor's all about, which is economic development. And I said this last time, and I'll say it again. Under his watch, in his administration, the past 7 years, there has been more economic development in the city of Aurora than compared to the past 60 years combined.
Wow.
Under him. And this is even a part of that, I would say, because when you have citizens who are able to pay their bills or able to have some money left over. We talked about keeping it within the city, but that also allows for businesses to be open. That allows for people to go to the Paramount Theater on a Saturday night and then go to a restaurant downtown and spend money there. So all the money stays within the City of Aurora's financial ecosystem, and all of these different arms of the city, which the mayor and his team is heavily invested into, whether it's resources and money, allows for more people, allows for more citizens to get out of debt, to be financially smart, and then to actually make a name for themselves and their families, be able to be stable, be able to go out and spend money in the city and keep everything here. So it's a concerted, trickle-down kind of ecosystem-type effort where all these different forces are working together, but they're all working together for one goal, and that's to keep Aurora moving forward, keep Aurora thriving. One Aurora.
Hey.
And all these different entities certainly encompass that One Aurora mindset of we're all working together to keep this city great and to keep it moving forward and to keep everything working well. And I would say that it has been a huge success, especially the FEC and what they've done. And then you combine that with the corporate end of it maybe, like the Mayor's Office of Economic Development or Invest Aurora. There is so much finance and money and just different things trickling all over the place in Aurora, it's because of institutions like this. It's because of the mayor's development and the mayor's vision and the mayor's investment in things like this too. So it's really exciting.
It sounds like it's more about the flow of money than it necessarily is about the pooling of money as it goes. We've been speaking with two great representatives of the City of Aurora, Tasha Moss, Program Manager of the Financial Empowerment Center, and also Jon Zagul. I'm sorry, I was just leaning too hard on that, Johnny Z. But you can go to City of Aurora FEC.org. Check out the open house that's happening on April 26th, Friday. That starts at 8 a.m. What is on the horizon? What does the next year of the FEC look like?
Well, the next year is so promising for us, and we're super excited about it. We're going to hone in on continuing to improve what we do well, and that's spreading financial literacy. We would like to deepen our integrations with the partners that we've already have, and look to how do we be innovative to add more partners to that list, and that would be businesses, organizations, and community, or our community partners. We would also like to invite sponsors, to help keep our program going. So you can reach out to me and we can find a way to mutually benefit the sponsorship. And also, if you would like to complement your programming by leveraging our program and our services, we're always looking to collaborate.
That's great. City of Aurora, FEC.org. In the last couple minutes, who are we shouting out? Come on. You guys have a great team out there.
I would love to shout out my FEC team. They have been so instrumental in not only getting me acclimated to my new role. They did a phenomenal job holding things together and holding things down while I got acclimated over those 7 months. And now that we're moving together more as a cohesive team, I have Valeria, I have Taisi, and Rosie. And I also want to shout out my innovation and strategy team, Martha, and also April and Lizette. Thank you guys so much for all that you do for me.
That's wonderful. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I don't have too many shout-outs. I just want to say thank you to you, obviously, for letting us come here.
Absolutely.
And really a big shout-out, obviously, to the mayor, Mayor Richard C. Urban, Alex Alexandru, Alex Voigt, Maria Lindsay, the entire mayor's office team, because at the end of the day, had they not supported this, it frankly wouldn't have happened. So they've done a really good job at supporting this, at supporting economic development and financial literacy from the first day of his administration to today, and hopefully moving forward. They've done a really good job, and I want to give them a shout out, and shout out to all of our communications and marketing people. My Chief Communications Officer, Tony Martinez, I'm sure he's tuning in, and our team up there as well. Everyone's been doing a great job, and things are moving forward at a really good pace in a really good way. Between this and just the city at large. It's really
thank
exciting.
you very much for being here. If you want to know more about the City of Aurora, aurora-il.org, I believe. And then, of course, City of Aurora, FEC.org. You're listening to Out to Lunch at WRMN. We'll be back with more Out to Lunch. I believe Ben's going to be zooming in with us. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Dennis.